Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Alex.
And I'm Lauren.
And really quickly, I just want you to stay with me. We're going to make this video very short, and tell you a little bit about our story with Pinterest. So fast forward, rewind to about a year and probably about 7 months ago. We were very frustrated bloggers. We were trying to blog. We saw these people blogging and they were very successful at it. And we were doing everything that we could to be successful, but we had a very specific problem, and that's that we couldn't get people to show up to our blog, is that we couldn't get people to read our content. And we tried a lot of different methods to solve this problem. Specifically, we spent a lot of time fudging around with Facebook ads to really no avail and no success. And if you're a blogger right now, you can understand the feeling of you're putting out great content, you are trying to help people, you have the right mindset, you really like your blog and what you do, you just can't get people to show up. And lots of late nights working on our blog, only to wake up to see we had 10 visitors last night, and that's a very real feeling that we went through in the time that we had. And that was where we started before we really dove into Pinterest. And fast forward to today.
Yeah, Pinterest has completely changed the game for us. Alex kind of read some stats on why you should focus on Pinterest over a year ago, and ever since then we decided to really focus in on it, and it has rewarded us beyond our wildest dreams.
Yes.
We went from basically 0 to over 200,000 views a month, unique visitors a month in just 2 months. We average about 20,000 views a day on our health and fitness blog, all from Pinterest, and we've gotten as much as 500,000 unique visitors. I mean, that's 500,000 unique visitors, and we don't pay for a dime of it. That's the beauty of it. In fact, we can't, because we're in the weight loss niche, and you can't advertise weight loss very, very well.
Yep.
So that is all without a dime spent on ads. And again, we didn't even realize we were getting into that until it started happening. So I know it's kind of hard to believe, but
Yeah.
it's absolutely true.
It's a very true story, and it really truly changed our business. And because of these things, we are super passionate about Pinterest. It's a way to get free traffic, organic traffic, if you do it right. Like anything, it takes time. It takes putting your mind to it. But over through this thing, we've also grown 2 accounts. We've grown Avocado, and we've grown a separate account for Create and Go to over 20,000 followers. And we've done this thing before. We've done this and helped lots of people set up their Pinterest account and actually get real traffic to it. So that's what we're going to help you do. And we are real life living Pinterest experts. We spend every day on it. Specifically, Lauren is the true master of Pinterest, and she's going to be teaching you these lessons, and it's going to be some incredible content. So just part of providing incredible content that we feel like is showing you the proof and the insider stats into what we do. Again, we don't show you the following to brag or to boast or anything like that, but to show you really truly what is possible with Pinterest and using it as the platform to drive traffic. So we're on our website, avocado.com, and we're going to look at our Jetpack site stats right now. We're going to show you our monthly averages, and we are going to examine it. So you can see here, trailing back to that little guy is October 2015, when we had just really started plugging in to Avocado and using Pinterest on our website. We got 5,000 views in a month, which is really good, pretty good. In November, we had about 11,000 views. Now, guys, we were doing this via Pinterest, and we were trying to grow with Pinterest, but we were also using some Facebook ads and stuff like that, really struggling. But you can see in December, we started to really figure things out. We really started to plug in Pinterest to our business and started to, wow, this is a traffic source that's really going to generate some serious potential traffic for us. And then you can see in January of 2016, a crazy month. We had 224,000 views to our blog. And then we had it's kind of level out over then, and then we started to learn some more things about Pinterest. We started to grow, and we had this crazy month here where we almost reached a million viewers. July 2016, we had 990,000. And since then, we have the lowest since then has been 442,000 visitors to our blog. And then we have 750,000. Now that's just on Avocado. We also have our other website where you have found us right now, and that's createandgo.co. So let's look at Create and Go as well. Let's examine some of the site stats. Sometime today, internet. I have this supposedly fast internet, and it just doesn't live up to the hype, really, to me. Anyway, so you can see today we've had 913 views. Day's not over. We're averaging well over 1,000 a day just on Create and Go, and this is sort of our newer account that we are working up to. So think about what you can do with 1,000 visitors to your blog a day. That's 30,000 people a month. That's 360,000 per year. Actually, 365,000 per year. Just think about what is the possibilities for that. And I want to show you some of the things. Some of the things that people care about. First, are email subscribers. Now we have, I should preface this, we have changed around a bit of our funnel and some of the ways that we're optimizing. So you'll see this kind of dip right here. But this is just us playing around and tweaking with stuff. Even when we are playing around with this stuff and messing around with it, we still have gotten, what are we averaging here? 172, blah, blah, blah. I mean, that's almost 300 email subscribers a day. Just to give you a little insight. And these are our low days. Our high day, again, not to brag or boast, but our high day this month was, we're almost into 1,000 email subscribers in a day. 1,000 email subscribers in one single day. That's well over, that looks like it's in the 900 range, at least. But yeah, and so these are the kind of email subscribers we generate on Avocado. Let's look at Create and Go. Show you a little bit of the insider stats. We have 4,682. I think you saw in the last one was like 37,000 right now. We've had to kind of clean up some of our old email subscribers because of our list wasn't as solid as we thought we could make it, so that only the people who are really, really, truly interested in the content. So we dialed back some subscribers, so the new ones that we have are a much more stronger subscriber base, just to explain those numbers a little bit to you. But we have 4,600 already with Create and Go, which is amazing. And we're getting, over 80 subscribers a day, which is just phenomenal and just great for a brand, a really, not brand new, but a very, very new blog. Let's see when we started Create and Go and started to get traffic to it. I think it's like it's more than 3 months. We started back here in July at some point in time. But yeah, you can see just steady growth and just steady growth with Pinterest traffic. And guys, this obviously, bringing traffic to your website obviously leads to sales. You can be pretty bad at what you do and still make plenty of money. You can see what we did yesterday, the day before, et cetera, et cetera. And this is just our Stripe account. This doesn't include our PayPal, that much money a day, very life-changing. Yeah, I'm not going to go too much further into that. The next thing that we have for you is actually a little training by Lauren. It's on why Pinterest matters. I think you're going to find it really awesome. All right.
Well, hey guys, my name is Lauren, and I am one half of the team at Create and Go. All right, you guys, let's talk about why Pinterest matters. It matters for so many different reasons. We're going to start out with some statistics, some crazy statistics about Pinterest, and these are more facts, so we won't spend too much time on these. They're more just to let you guys know about the growth going on with Pinterest right now. Pinterest was founded in March 2010, and it still remains the fastest growing social media platform, growing by 57% last year alone. I think this has a lot to do as well with just the type of platform it is. A lot of younger people are kind of giving up on Facebook, and I know from talking to my cousins and my younger cousins, and doing the research, everyone's kind of over Facebook and the political posts and the cat videos, and they're looking for other platforms to really engage with and get a lot more out of. So Pinterest is rapidly growing, and you want to keep that in mind. It has 110 monthly million users, and it's valued at 11 billion US dollars. And this is a really, really important statistic that we are going to go into more detail later on in this presentation, and that's 10% of users make more than $100,000 as an annual household income. That means that the people that are on Pinterest are very affluent, and that's very important to you as a blogger because you are trying to connect with these people and sell to these people. So I'm immediately reminded of all the people on Facebook that are seeking out cat videos. Those are not, unless you're in that niche and you're making money on some goofy YouTube videos, or you're selling goofy cat stuff, that's just not really going to help you out a whole lot. So we will revisit that later in this presentation. The half-life of a Pinterest pin is 3.5 months. That's 1,680 times longer than Facebook. What that means, y'all, is that your content lasts longer and it's seen more on Pinterest than it is on Facebook. So think about it like this. When you put up a Facebook post, unless you're promoting it and you're paying to advertise it, that you post that and it's seen by X amount of people, and unless it goes viral, it's gone forever. Your followers have seen it, and that organic reach is also dying, because the more people that get on Facebook and use Facebook, and the more cat videos that are on there being popular, they're pushing your content out. So when I'm in my news feed, I have to actively engage in certain groups and with certain people, or else I don't see their stuff anymore because cat videos are popping up in my news feed. But a Pinterest pin can last, the average pin lasts about 3.5 months. That means it still is being seen over and over and over again. And that's just average, y'all. We've had Pinterest pins. We have Pinterest pins that still get us traffic, and we haven't pinned them since a year ago when we first started. So if it's called evergreen content, and we will also discuss that in a little more detail later on in this presentation. So that's really awesome. And again, meeting content continues to get clicks and traffic over a long period of time. It is not a one and done deal, which is just so very important. And more on this in a few minutes. So let's see. We use Pinterest to drive over 500,000 unique monthly visitors to our blog without spending a dime on ads. It's 500 brand new people every month without spending anything on ads. And the crazy thing is, too, in health and wellness or health and fitness, we can't advertise most of the time. Our most successful product is a weight loss product, and you actually can't advertise anything that says weight loss or lose weight or gives any kind of promise of that. You can advertise health and wellness and fast results, but you can't mention the words weight loss or losing weight, and those are the key words that really help you sell. So that's something else just to keep in mind. We have experimented with promoted pins on Create and Go, but we have not on Avocado. So those 500 unique monthly visitors are without spending a dime on ads. Yes, that's 500,000 users with free organic traffic. Do we have your attention now? We just wanted to let you guys know that we really do. We're not trying to brag, but we've accomplished all this in less than a year. We accomplished that number right there. It was just a few months, and we just wanted to let you guys know so that you know that we really do know what we're talking about, and we have the data to back it up. So let's talk about why Pinterest is worth your time. And here we're going to go into a little bit more detail about some of the reasons that make Pinterest so unique and that make it truly worth your time. As a blogger, your time is the most valuable resource that you have because it's so time consuming to get good at social media and to write your articles and to create products and just all the upkeep with it as well, to connect with your readers. It's exhausting and it's time consuming. We worked full time before we started this, so we totally get it. And we've tried Facebook, we've tried Instagram, we've tried YouTube. We do some of a little bit of all of those at times, but it was not until after we truly mastered Pinterest. And so we just kind of want to give you the really important reasons why we jumped over to Pinterest when we read about it. And it was from those statistics I just gave you, along with these things, that Alex came to me one day and said, Lauren, we have to get on Pinterest now. And that was after about 3 or 4 months of really kind of struggling with not getting any traffic and stuff to our blog. So let's talk about that. First of all, free organic traffic. This is in comparison to ads. So unlike other social media platforms, you do not need to gain thousands of followers to achieve this. If you want traffic, you guys I'm sure you know that you either have to have A, followers, or B, you have to use ads. If you've even tried or thought about getting on Facebook, you know that you have to give them all types of money to get your content seen. And getting followers is hard. It is really hard on any social media platform. There is no shortcut to getting followers overnight. It's just the way that it is. And Pinterest actually allows for a way to borrow followers, which is really great. You can actually join. So when you start out and you have 0 followers, the best thing you actually kind of want to do is reach out to friends and to connect it to your personal Facebook and try to reach out to some friends to get your first 100 or so. But once you do that, once you have a few on there, the best way to get your content seen immediately is to join group boards. And if you can become a collaborator on someone else's board, and then when you pin on their board, when you pin your content on their board, you get to basically sort of share or borrow all of their followers. So anytime you do that, their followers see your content. And there's a website to find group boards. It's called pingroupie.com if you're already on Pinterest and you want to look into that route. So anyway, that is amazing because no other social media platform lets you do that without without sponsored posts. So you would have to pay someone else to feature your posts. And if you've ever experimented with that before or even looked into it, you'll know that it's really difficult to do. You have to find the right person who has the right amount of followers and who's willing to do it for the right amount of money. And there's no guarantee that your content is going to get seen or that anybody's really going to pay attention to you. So it's kind of a lonely road, but Pinterest allows you to have your content seen immediately when you join group boards. So that's really, really awesome. And ads, of course, are still an option if you're in a niche that it works well in. Again, with weight loss, it doesn't work out all that great for us. But ads are a very untapped resource in Pinterest. I believe it was only about maybe a year or two ago that I don't even think it was 2 years ago that they introduced what they call promoted pins on Pinterest. So it's still relatively new. And if ad revenue, or if ads are in your budget, then it's still a really, really great way to go because your ads are going to go a lot farther on Pinterest than they will on Facebook or on Instagram or another really overcrowded platform. So just keep that in mind. Again, all of our stats that we've given you, those were all done without ads. So anyway, so that's the free organic traffic. That was our first hook that got us to really pay attention to Pinterest because we didn't want to spend a bunch of money in ads. It wasn't really in our budget, and as you guys know, if you haven't made your first few dollars yet, it's really difficult to make the decision to spend money on ads when you don't know if they're going to work and you're not making any money back. So the next point we're going to talk about is evergreen content. And this is what I was telling you guys about the half-life of a Pinterest pin being 3.5 months. So right there, like average lifespan is 3.5 months. It's not usually a one and done deal. Of course, it can be because the average is 3.5 months, but it can also be far, far longer. Evergreen content just means that popular content stays on top. It's evergreen. It keeps going and in continuity. And what this basically means is that if your content is popular and people like it will stay at the top of Pinterest search, and people will keep repinning it without you having to do anything. So you post it once and it keeps getting bumped up to the top. You can continue to get traffic for years without actively doing anything. Again, I spoke a couple minutes ago about we have pins that we pinned, I mean, a year ago when we first started, and we're still seeing traffic from it because it just stayed popular. So this to me, to Alex and I both, this was probably the number one reason, besides the free traffic, that the fact that it is free, but the fact that it's also evergreen. So not only is it free, but it's not one and done like Facebook or like even Instagram. Yeah, people can go back to your profile and look at your posts, but at some point they got to scroll way, way, way too far, and it's totally different. So that's another huge and awesome reason that the potential there for just exponential growth is why we love evergreen content. So, and that is also related to Pinterest being a search engine. So it's a little bit similar to YouTube in that nature. And this is so great because Pinterest, like YouTube, was designed to be a search engine. This means that your customers are telling you exactly what they want and need. And there's so much less guesswork involved. So think about it, y'all. You can use Pinterest just like everyone else does, and they give you suggested keywords. So you can type in yoga, and then all kinds of other suggestions will pop up. And that lets you know what your users are searching for. And this is just amazing for being able to design your content in your pins, because you don't have to sit there and bang your head against the wall and figure out what your users want. I mean, think about Facebook. You have to actively engage with them and get them interested in your content, and it's not a search engine, so you don't really know what they want. You just have to hope that they like what you have to offer. And so just the fact that it is a search engine just completely kind of turns everything on its side. And Instagram's the same way. People search on Instagram just like Facebook, but it's not designed to be a search engine, and that's where all the difference lies. It makes it much easier to create targeted content on your blog and use pins to really target your customers. So it's also great too, because it doesn't mean that only your followers are seeing your content, like on Facebook. When people search, when they, we're very into yoga with our health and fitness website. So when people search for yoga, even brand new people who aren't following us, they find our content. And that's what makes being a search engine so awesome. So up next, we have that Pinterest is not a social media. And let me just explain that. That means that users are not getting on Pinterest to actively engage with each other. When you get on Instagram or Facebook, especially Facebook, you're looking to see what your friends are up to. And Instagram as well. People read Instagram captions very, very closely, because Instagram has been the platform that sort of gives businesses and companies and celebrities and just people in general a way to share their private life a little bit. It usually gives a little bit more glimpse into people's private lives than Facebook does. And so that's sort of why we use those social media platforms, is to be social. Especially think about Snapchat, right? And Pinterest is not like this at all. Users are not conversing in the traditional sense. They're not getting on and they're not commenting to each other. You can follow your friends and see what they're pinning. You can share boards with them, but it's still not a platform that people are actively engaging in conversation with. It's a very image-based platform like Instagram, but descriptions don't really matter, and comments are completely useless. In descriptions, you want to kind of keyword you want to keyword what it's about, but you don't often want to give your personal story or anything because people just aren't really reading the descriptions. All they see is that image and they click or they don't click. And that image is in a sea of other images. And the text on the descriptions is really small. So it really, the image is what matters. And comments, I say comments are useless because Pinterest actually has a cap on the amount of comments that you can do in a day. I don't know, they don't issue the limits, but it's only a handful of comments before your account will get blocked or flagged because they associate that with spam. So it's an incredibly different platform when it comes to communication. And the reason this is so important, y'all, is because it lets you focus on your content. You don't have to sit there and try to engage with your users heavily by creating this heavy caption. I know I struggled kind of with getting I tried to get my yoga Instagram account sort of going to kind of start driving traffic to our health and fitness blog, and I haven't given up on it, but I realized that it just wasn't really worth my time because I'd have to spend all this time to try to get these great, wonderful photos of myself, but then I'd also have to give a really helpful caption about the struggles I'm having, and I was having to try to really relate to my followers on a deep level, and that's a great thing, but I just, because Alex and I run like 3 different companies and all these different Pinterest accounts, it was not worth my time, and it became far too time consuming. And the way Pinterest is set up, you already have to write great blog posts, right? But you don't also have to think of this really awesome caption to try to hook your readers, and you don't have to be spammy about your headlines. You want to focus more on the great content on your blog, but just getting a great image to drive people there. So it's far less of a time investment in my opinion, and that goes back to, again, your time being the most important resource that you have. So let's see. Our next step is to talk about users being spenders, and this goes back to the statistic on them being a very affluent group of people. 50% of Pinterest users make over $50,000 a year, and 10% make over $125,000 a year. So this is incredibly important to y'all as bloggers. Here's another one. 93% of users have plans to purchase something, and 87% already have purchased something because of Pinterest. And this circles back again to the cat videos on Facebook and just all that other content out there that you're competing with. On Pinterest, you don't have to compete with cat videos. It's hard enough, for instance, in the health and fitness space, it's already hard enough to compete with other people in health and fitness. But if I'm also having to compete with cat videos for space and to get my content seen, you could just forget about it. I mean, that content is so much, it's so easily shareable, and you're on the wrong platform if that's who you're having to compete with. And not only that, but those people seeking out that type of content, they're looking for freebies. They're looking for a laugh. They're looking for free entertainment. They're not ready. People aren't on Facebook ready to buy things. Yes, they have ads that get you to click over to websites, and they have a lot of delivery services actually advertise on Facebook and do very well on Facebook. But it's not as great in general if you're trying to get people to purchase your products. And that is why Pinterest is so great, because people are not just browsing for freebies. They actually have their credit cards out and ready. They are shoppers. The whole concept behind Pinterest is pinning ideas to your dream board, whether it be DIY and ideas for projects around the house or health and fitness. We sell weight loss and yoga ebooks. We've seen people selling all kinds of stuff. They now have buyable pins, and you can buy lamps, and y'all, people have their credit cards out and they are ready and they have the money to spend. So just keep this in mind. It's so important to you as a blogger. And I think this is our last point on here, and this is going to be about the untapped potential on Pinterest. This sort of circles back around again to sort of the competition on other social media sites. Pinterest is still relatively new, and there is so much room for growth. Most bloggers and business users cannot figure it out, and they actually eventually give up on it. And this to me is fascinating. Again, we've seen a lot of people really their growth stagnate, and they started out about the same as we did. And Pinterest, because of all these reasons I've explained to y'all how different it is, people try to apply the same strategies that work well for them on Facebook and on Instagram and other platforms, and they try to just duplicate it on Pinterest because, hey, it's social media. And it's crazy because I've even seen companies like Ziploc and Starbucks and Ritz crackers, I guess that's Nabisco maybe. I've seen them advertise on Facebook or on Pinterest, and I look at the pin and I'm just thinking, oh my gosh, that's got to be bombing. They are just wasting their money because they take an advertisement that works pretty well on Facebook and they dump it on Pinterest, and they think that because they are Starbucks or Ziploc and their name carries so much weight that they don't have to sort of try that hard and really understand the platform and what succeeds on it. And a lot of those businesses have given up because they didn't spend the time to figure it out. They thought, we'll just keep throwing money at Facebook ads because that's sort of working out. And this is just awesome. I absolutely love it because it makes it so much greater for the rest of us. So let me talk about a really crazy statistic that Alex gave me that just blew my mind. Last year, 70% of marketers were using Pinterest. A year later, it has dropped to just 30% of marketers. Y'all, that is a crazy drop for a social media platform that is rapidly growing. Just think about that. It's kind of like the people on it, the rich are going to grow richer. And it's funny because I want it to stay as this unknown, untapped potential and this little known secret. Alex and I just smirk when we see people wasting their money on other platforms. I'll scroll through Facebook and see an ad and just think, oh man, what a waste of money that is, because I didn't click on it. I can tell it was just a little mismatch for whatever reason. And this is why you should be on Pinterest, because other people are giving up on it. So it's not easy. Mastering any social media is not going to be easy. I do think that Pinterest is much easier than others and far less expensive. But yes, you still have to give it a lot in time and energy. But y'all, if you do, and if you stick with it and you figure it out and really just pay attention to it, there is just so much potential where everyone else is giving up. So just keep that in mind. It has remained a relatively new and untapped platform, especially compared to Facebook and Instagram, and even now Snapchat. They're becoming so overcrowded. So just absolutely keep that in mind. It is so. I did tell you guys that I wanted to kind of talk to you a little bit about Pinterest traffic avalanche. I know it's really difficult to start learning or truly mastering any social media platform. I have been there. Alex and I both have been there. We set up our Facebook accounts. We set up Instagram. We considered all options, and we didn't just hit the ground running with Pinterest either. It's been a long year, and we've had a lot of ups and a lot of downs. And in our Pinterest traffic avalanche, there's over 3 hours of content where we explain everything from getting your profile set up to our most advanced tips. We call them our ninja secrets. And we just wanted to tell you guys a little bit more about this. I'm actually going to show you our sales page for it. Just briefly sort of outline. It's a long sales page and there's a lot to it. So I just kind of want to highlight some of the most important parts and just give you guys a chance to look over it and sort of see a little bit more what we've accomplished, and that way you sort of have a better understanding of the rest of this e-course. So let's just look at that real quick. So we have a testimonial up here, and these beautiful girls have a beautiful blog, and they said they were binge watching our course. We have a few testimonials in here that you guys can read what other people have to say. We kind of have some more statistics on here, similar to what I just told you about. We have some traffic stats, so it shows right here where we implemented our Pinterest strategies. Right here is when we had a mega viral pin, is sort of what we call it. And we actually see it, our best ever views were over 97,000 in one single day, y'all. That's 97,000 unique visitors in one day because of this viral pin. We will talk more about this instance in the we talk in depth about it in our Pinterest Avalanche course, but we also talk a little bit more about that stuff and about viral content in this e-course. So stay tuned for that. But you can see these numbers, they have fluctuated because we do see a downturn in traffic for health and fitness towards the end of the year as it gets colder. But yeah, so you can look over our 2016 traffic stats, and we of course will be updating this 2017 information as we get in our January and our February numbers. So you can read about that. We talk about list growth. We do have an email list, and we've generated over 40,000 leads. We've collected over 40,000 emails on our email list, and this was all through Pinterest, and not just putting it on our blog either. We've created opt-ins and actually pinned it directly from onto Pinterest, so people go straight to a landing page that has your email opt-in. So the Pinterest Avalanche goes into detail about how to collect leads and why they're important for sales as well. And again, I talked about Avocado. This is our Avocado account. It's linked up to our account to sort of demonstrate. See, it says 54,000 followers. We now have over 90,000. And there's a link here so you can check out our profile if you want and sort of see what we're all about over at Avocado. Again, this is the standpoint from which we teach all of our Pinterest strategies and all of our blog strategies, because this is our highly trafficked blog. And yeah, so that's Avocado. And then we have another testimonial, Miss Darlene here. She's been super awesome. Darlene is very active in our Honest Bloggers group. So if you have any questions for her, she's in there as well. And then it kind of goes into what's included. We have, again, over 3 hours of videos. We have some freebie checklists, some pin schedulers, some follower trackers. We do offer a private support group. So even after you have purchased the product and watched all the videos, we do have free access to a private support group that only comes with this challenge, and I answer any and all questions I can in that group, sort of about helping people out with their individual strategies and what works best for them, and they share ideas as well, our other members, so that's really, really great as well. And then you can also see some of the different videos are included. We can have a screenshot of all the different stuff that we cover in the program. And the bonuses we kind of included that we do continue to update the program. We have Pinterest changes their algorithm just like all social medias, and I update the program anytime there is a big algorithm change that makes certain lessons obsolete or opens the door for new lessons as well. And then we have our Ninja Secret bonus lessons, and these are where Alex and I give you 6 just really, really in-depth and our most advanced strategies that we that have really led to our Pinterest success. So yeah, and there's a little bit about Alex and I. So there's Alex and there's me, and that's what we do, guys. So I just wanted to give you sort of a brief overview about that.